What's going on YouTube? Hey, it's Ben Nader, and you guys already know that this is the channel where we talk about business, entrepreneurship, investing, recruiting, startups, everything in between. And so if you like that, I vlog every single day on these topics. So become a subscriber by smashing the subscribe button down below. And let's jump right into today's topic, which is targeted lead generation. So a lot of you guys I know are starting your own recruiting agencies like myself. I'm in the recruiting business and run my own recruiting firm. And one thing that reigns king over everything else is lead generation. And so it's always a topic. It's always going to come up in some form or another. And specifically today, I wanted to talk about calibrating and changing and harnessing better lead generation techniques and habits so that you're actually getting qualified, good leads that will do business with you frequently and continuously. So the first thing I want to say about lead generation and targeted lead generation in general is that you want to think about who you are targeting. So this applies to the actual company itself. Take a look at the company that you're cold emailing, cold calling, connecting with the CEO on LinkedIn, whatever it is. Figure out like what it is that they do, right? Figure out who they are, figure out what they manufacture, figure out how many employees they have. Just get a better understanding for the company you're targeting, right? This is critical because you could be knocking on a door that has nothing behind it, or you could be knocking on a door that has $1 million behind it. And you're not going to know unless you do some pre-research and find out some information about that company before you go all in and waste all your time trying to break down the door and get to the CTO, CEO, or whoever it is you want to talk to, right? So that's one thing I want to say about targeted lead generation. That's one habit and technique that you can implement for sure to make sure you're hitting the right leads. The second one I wanted to mention to you is that there's two specific types of companies I go after. This is what's made me successful. This is kind of my secret sauce, and I'll dump it all here for you guys. So there's two categories of companies that generally do staffing business, and they do it frequently and easily, quickly, and all of that. We are talking about the general labor space, so we're talking about admins, production, transportation, clerical, anything logistics, all of that sort of stuff. Not specialized, highly technical labor or anything like that. So we're not doing software developers and stuff. So keep that in mind. So in these two categories, the first is what I like to call basically boutique businesses with money. And there's no other way to say it, but boutique, smaller to medium-sized companies that we know have a lot of cash in the bank. So these are going to be companies that are like dentists, doctors, accounting firms, law firms. You might think of high-end dermatology offices, just like anything of the sort that comes to your mind. If you're driving down the street and you just take a look, you're thinking, oh, wow, that place probably has a lot of money, right? A doctor that does Botox, you know what I mean? In a high-end area specifically. And target locally, right? You know areas in your city that are high-end versus the ones that are, meh, it's a little bit low rent, right? You know those places, just like I know places in my own city. So target those companies in that category, right? Boutique with a lot of money. Medium to small size, medium, large size, whatever it ends up being, they're boutique companies that are high-end, that have a lot of cash in the bank. These companies do staffing. They will easily sign an agreement with you. They'll do it in a snap. The CEO does not want to be hunting on Indeed.com. And I guarantee you that. And most of the time, they want their secretaries and whoever else doing work for them and not doing work for staffing. So they'll outsource that in a heartbeat. So boutique companies with money. The second category is what I would call large volume level organizations. These are more of your warehouse, logistics, production, manufacturing, transportation, anything of that sort, right? And I've mentioned this in a billion different videos, but the larger volume organizations, that level is the second category where I find successful companies that do business with me. Reason being, they have a large volume of employees. So number one, they're probably producing lots and lots of quantities of product, and therefore they have a huge cash flow turnover. One warehouse that I work with specifically said that they do about $500,000 a week in product that they distribute. I can guarantee you they have plenty of money in the coffers, and $3,000 to $4,000 a placement is a drop in the bucket, a drop in the ocean pretty much for them. So they'll easily do staffing business with you. So large level organizations with a high amount of employees probably has a little bit of turnover too. So that's another reason to target them, because they're easily approachable, because you know they need staffing themselves. And so they're going to be really, really, open to the concept of you being able to help staff for them, whether it's, again, warehouse, logistics, manufacturing, production, whatever that might look like. Bigger organizations that just have a high capacity of employees, they do a lot of different types of business, and they have many different facets and outlets to their business. Unlike the boutique places with large sums of cash, there might be a law firm that has 3 partners, but they've got $5 million in reserves because their retainer is like $100,000, and they'll easily staff somebody for 10-15% gross salary, right? So those are my 2 main categories that I find a lot of success in when I specifically target companies for my lead generation. And overall, I want to say that you guys should need to know exactly who you're talking to when you do your targeting. So when you're generating leads, figure out who you're speaking with, right? We've mentioned this before in a couple other videos, but it's come up a lot in Six Figure Recruiters, the Facebook group. If you're not in it, link in description, please join. I answer pretty much everybody's questions in there. So Six Figure Recruiters, link in description. But know who you're targeting. So again, no HR, no recruiters. We want to be talking to directors, CEOs, anyone in the C-suite level. Don't be afraid to approach them. Please understand, these people are just like you and me. They have a title and that's it. So please approach these people. Directors, senior level managers, that sort of thing. Those are the people that you want to connect with, whether it's on LinkedIn, or if you find their email on Contact Out, you just email them straight away, that sort of thing. Or if you're cold calling and you know who they are from their website and you want to ask for Jim at such and such law firm, ask for Jim. Just don't be afraid. Just do it. So know who you're targeting, because that's really, really elementary to targeted lead generation. If you're actually going to fulfill real targeted lead generation, you need to know whom you're going to speak with. Develop your strategy, develop your plan, know who you're going in to talk to, know what that person is going to be able to do for you, and so on and so forth. If Jim, the director, shuts it down right away, it's probably a no-go, because recruiting and HR report to him. So they're not going to do anything for you. So it's best that you get to that person first, rather than dealing with lower peons that aren't going to be able to help you out anyways, not going to be able to make the decision at all or anything like that. I really just want you guys to give yourself the best opportunity to get in the door by practicing targeted lead generation rather than what we call spray and pray, where you literally just mass email and just throw it all out there. I do a fair amount of emailing, but I keep it to targeted places that I want to connect with. I look at the company. I understand what they do. I know who I'm going to contact there. I make sure they fall into one of the 2 categories that I know I want to staff for, because I know it's most likely to give me the best opportunity to get into the door with them. And really, ultimately, that's what this video is all about. Helping you guys understand what targeted lead generation can do for you, and helping you understand how practicing these things is going to give you the best opportunity to close a door, get a conversation started, open a door, close a deal, get a conversation started, sign an agreement, and get placements made and get paid. And then do residual business, of course. That's the name of the game, right? So ultimately, target your lead generation. Don't just spray and pray and hope for the best. Target down to specific individuals at specific companies that you've filtered through and know that are most likely to do business with you. And I'm not going to guarantee you anything, but I'm going to tell you your rate of response and your rate of success with potential agreements being signed is probably going to go up around 50% if you practice all of these things that I just mentioned. And I'll put them all in the description so that you guys don't have to watch this twice or whatever. But join the Six Figure Recruiter or Six Figure Recruiters group. I answer tons of questions in there. So if we're talking about lead generation, I can answer a ton of stuff in there. Contracts, if we're talking about that or anything like that. Link will also be in the description. So Six Figure Recruiters Facebook group. Again, all of these targeted lead generation techniques I'll put in the description as well. Hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday. I will catch you for sure on Monday on my daily vlog. Take care, guys. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe right now. And like the video if you would, please. Take care.